Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Warframe. I know what you guys are thinking. You just did your 13.7, Ben. You're going crazy with these Warframe videos. Well, it just happened that I got lucky and another event happened literally the next day. But this is for update 13.8 for the Breeding Grounds. This is a continuation of a little, I wouldn't even call it an event. It was more of like a awesome alert weekend. Basically, a few weeks ago, there was a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where there was just a ton of really good alerts, and they were all suspicious shipments, and they all had to do with Alid V, the boss on Jupiter. He's a Corpus scientist who does experimentations on Warframes, and he is a general douchebag, but also he's been trying to figure out how to manipulate the infested. And the suspicious shipments were cool because they were extermination missions, but you had to fight the Corpus first and then the infested. I like that kind of dual enemy type missions. It kind of brings a little bit more variety, and you can't, set your gear up quite as efficiently. It brings a little bit more of a challenge. And at the end of that weekend, after all those really good events, I'm talking like 200,000 credit events, a bunch of Orokin Reactor and Orokin Catalyst blueprints, Orokin cells, bunch of rare resources, just all kinds of really solid events, or really solid alerts. After that, basically it was, hinted at that Alid V would be coming back, that, some of the shipments were missed. So, and this is the continuation of it. And it's a lot of fun. Basically, it's a new mission type involving hives. Basically, there are now these infested hives, as you see me destroy two of them already in this video. These infested hives basically are protected by these little tumor nodes. You have to destroy all 5 nodes, and then you can destroy the hive. And once you destroy the hive, a random event happens. Well, it's not random, it's one of 6 different events. There's a laser trap hive, where it'll set up laser traps. There's the security hive that will set up, that'll turn the turrets on. And there is the stabilization hive, which decreases gravity. There's the gas hive that basically puts giant gas bubbles throughout the map. There's the magnetic hive that does the same thing as the gas hive, except it's magnetic, so it's shield damage instead of health damage. And the 6th one is the frost hive, which drops your shields to half, just like, the random event where you go into a map and you have 50% shields because of the, ice and frost. Now, that being said, basically every time you go into one of these breeding ground missions, you're going to have a different experience, and that's fucking awesome. I like having I like wondering, I wonder what this level's going to be. It really breaks up the monotony, because a big issue I have with this game is the monotony, is doing the same thing over and over and over again, and this is a really good way, I think, personally, to really break that up. Now, to get to the actual event, that's just the basic mission type. The event, basically, is you have to do this mission, and when you complete the Breeding Ground Hive mission, you get a certain number of points. And in order to get the rewards, you have to do it in a single level. You have to get a high score in a single level. It's not cumulative. So it's not like, oh, well, I've played this level 3 times and I got 6 points each time, so that's 18 points, so I should get the second reward, right? No, your high score is what's important here. However, the more times you do the mission, the harder it gets. And this is actually the new Iliac armor is I'm hopefully pronouncing it correctly. The new Sindana and armor. It's infested and it looks really cool. It moves around a lot with you, which I think is very cool. But that's also something new as of 13.8. But getting back to the level, basically the more times you complete this level, the harder the mission will get, and the more points that you'll get for completing it, which is awesome, and that makes totals, that's fine. However, the hives also play a big part in that, as well as the people you're playing with. If you have a lot of built-up points, and the other 3 people on your team don't, you're not going to have a good high score at the end. As well as, the security hive, the gravity hive, and the laser trap hives. Those are the weaker of the 3 hives. The gas, the magnetic, and the frost hives, those are the good hives. Those are the hard, quote-unquote, harder hives to deal with. So you're going to get more points if you have those 3, which is awesome. And unfortunately, there's no way to plan which hives you're going to get. It's completely RNG. So, as well as, unless you have a team of people who all have, big base points, it can be pretty tough. I think I had to finish this level probably close to 40 times before I got the 48 points necessary to get the last reward. So it can be tough, and actually this is the run right here where I actually get the gas, the magnetic, and the frost, so you guys can see firsthand what the quote-unquote hardest set of hives will look like. And it's a great mission type. It's just this particular event is kind of repetitive, and I think this is, not retaliation, but this is the way that Digital Extremes has done this event is due to, input from the community, and this, I don't know, I understand why they did it this way. It's just, there's just too much RNG in this to really be a solid event, in my opinion. Awesome new game type, I'm really excited about it. It's just this event fucking blows. But moving on to the rewards. Basically, for 6 points, which is complete 1 breeding ground level once, you'll get the breeding ground badge, which is pretty normal. At 17 points, you will get the new dual stat fire mods. Basically, what I talked about in my last video in 13.7 with the Cicero mods, the toxic status chance mods, these are the same thing, except it's fire. It's 60% fire damage, 60% status chance. So now we have the Cicero mods that are toxic in status. We've got the Tethra's Doom that is electric in status, and now the Breeding Ground mods that are fire in status. So all we have left is the Frost mods, and we'll have a complete set. So I can't wait for that. It's going to be exciting. And you get, when you hit 17 points, which you should be able to do, even with like a whole party of new players, you should be able to do that in less than 10 runs. But you do get the melee, the shotgun, the pistol, and the rifle. You get all of it. Now, for 48 points, you get the Prove of Vandal, which I'll do a whole video on that, because it's not actually a bad melee weapon. But 48 points is a lot of fucking work to get to 48 points from 17. It's a lot of work. And I was lucky. I actually had a group of players that we stayed together. We probably did this level 15 times before we finally got enough points. We got 53 points on our last run. It was just long and grindy, and it kind of killed the whole, oh, this is cool and new and interesting for me, because I had to grind it so much. But, I mean, other than that, I like the event. I like where this, mission type is going. I think it's a very cool mission type. and I look forward to I look forward to more infested Corpus combinations later on, because this isn't over yet. Like, this is, I imagine that once we get to update 14, which is very close, by the way, that we'll get more Alad V, and we'll see what goes on with him. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap up this episode of Let's Play Warframe for update 13.8, The Breeding Grounds. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Please subscribe for more Warframe content in the future. I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos for Update 14 when that happens. I imagine it will probably be before the end of the month, I'm hoping. They only have 13.9, so... But, thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.